So tehillim for me has always been, well, it used to be, I should say, an academic sefer that was supposed to be recited as prayers that I couldn't really understand or relate to. And over the past year, Baruch Hashem, I have gotten to really study the sefer in depth, and I'm actually through the first third of the longest sefer in Tanakh, which is a big deal, thank God. And what I've learned so far in that time has not only been healing and enlightening and comforting and inspiring, but I've come to understand how tehillim serves as an emotional window to the human soul. The authors of these psalms, they open up their minds and their hearts and experiences. They share them timelessly with us in a way that the reader and the listener can carve out their own connection and understanding to the words. Rabbi Nachman points out that that's actually the goal, right? To see yourself and your situation in the words of tehillim. So we see how it applies to you, how it applies to your how you can gain insight into your situation and grow and become closer to Hashem with that renewed sense of understanding. And if you look even at the psalm we're going to do tonight, right, Psalm 6, David is totally vulnerable, right? Yes, in the way he describes himself physically, Pasuk 3-4, Nivhalu atzamai, my bones shudder with terror. V'nafshi nivhala me'od, and my soul, my whole being is stricken with terror. And he goes on in great detail. But this is a vulnerability that David HaMelech is willing to share with us, which I think it's a point that's often overlooked, right? And I think it needs to be appreciated for what it is. Throughout Tehillim, David goes through elation and pits of despair and anywhere in between, and he shares it with us. Wow. Like, how many people do you know share their deepest diary secrets, their most inner thoughts, their successes and failures, their griefs, their celebrations, their questionings, their certainties, their sins, their repentances? Why? Like, why is he admitting all of this to us? His imperfections and his glories. There's a quote from Rabbi Twersky, alav shalom, who passed away this week, and I think it relates to the answer. To genuinely feel the hurt of another person is therefore to help him, even if you can do nothing active to change his situation, right? So this is focusing on when people are in a bad place and we have that urge to do something and we have nothing to say or do, which might really just be another way of saying, as my friend Rachel Herkman puts it, we can't fix them, right? But Rav Twersky and David HaMelech and the other authors of Tehillim, if you hold that way, are showing the essence of the human condition, that we all go through ups and downs. And sometimes all we need is someone to be there with us and to sit with me and to feel my pain and my joy, and so that we can both work on that together. The first word in the psalm is lamnatseach, which is officially translated as to the conductor. It has a couple other meanings, but one of the translations is forever. And the fact that thousands of years later, we are saying that David HaMelech wanted to be, what he wanted to be, lamnatseach, what he wanted to be forever, it's not only, like, I get chills whenever I think of that, it's not only inspirationally hopeful because it shows how his prayers were answered by the fact that we still have them today, but it's David's way of continuing to heal that which he needed to share and provided a way to be there for us as humans who who will inevitably go through the same things that he went through at some point in our lives. I want to say Yasher Koach for this tehillim group because it in itself is an acknowledgement that we might not be able to fix what's going on in the outside world, and we might not be able to heal our dear friend Chaim Gonen. May he have a complete refuah shalema soon. But we can just be there for each other and laugh or cry and hold each other's virtual hand and just feel wherever the other is at. David HaMelech did us such a huge chesed and is teaching us how powerful that chesed is with every mizmor we read. He bared his soul on paper, and in the hopes that it would be specifically shared on the steps of the Beit HaMikdash in front of everyone to hear, ensuring that every person should feel that we're never going through something alone. And to serve as that reminder that there are those who have been where you have been and have felt your pain and your celebrations. May we all be able to continue to make our presence felt in the way that fulfills others' needs.